So today we're going to be doing our pick'ems. So starting off with Americas. See here. Okay, I'm signed in. So Loud versus Cloud9. Loud, it's Pancata, Cowanzine, Darker, Verdi, and who am I forgetting? Um Luke Show versus Cloud9 with Zelsis and Penny coming in with. And I honestly like Penny. Like he did really good in tier 2, and he did really good in EMEA when he was on Fnatic. I mean, on Liquid and Apex. And in the off season, he's been popping off with Oxy. So I'm gonna go with Cloud9. Envy versus EG. So Envy brought in Rossi and Kesnet, and so I like the old team, but of course the other two players can't play because they're not old enough. EG brought in Okeanos. Who else? They got Superman, Calm, Bao, DG, and DG. I like Bao. I like Okeanos. I watched all these guys in tier 2. I think they're all pretty good, but I don't really like Calm as a player, to be honest. And it's his first time IGLing, and I think Genfi just running them down is just gonna catch him off guard. Like this is his first game, he's gonna have a hard time calling against them. So I'm gonna go with Envy. I also have a lot of faith in Envy. And people want to like say like, oh, Potter is really really good. We know what Potter can do, but literally they only won that championship one time, and then after that, she's done nothing with her teams. And there's been chances where they could have done something, but they just haven't done anything. Okay, Furia, they got like an all American team now, basically. Artsine is in. He's the only Brazilian there, but they have Alum, Koala Noob, EU, and Nerve. Nerve was IGLing for Crew on the off season. I think it was last off season or something like that. But I don't remember watching him a whole bunch in tier 2. Oh, he was on core. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he got really good at the end of the um tier 2 season. He almost qualified for Ascension, but they got fourth. So I got a lot of faith in well, not a lot of faith, but he's up there for tier 2 IGLs for sure. And then Kuala Noob, I think he got cut short on Navi, to be honest. I didn't really like Alexic, but I just think Kuala Noob didn't really get a good chance because I didn't really like the team under Angels IGLing. So, and Alum is really good. So I'm going to go for them. So Kuala Noob and EU, they're going to be in Artsine. The way Artsine ended MIBR with like 9 kills in like overtime or something, for him to get eliminated, he's definitely going to want to prove himself. 100 Thieves versus Lev. Lev has like a all South American and Brazilian team now with King, Sato, Spike, Blows, and Neon. But I think since this is in January, Neon won't be able to play. And 100 Thieves has Timotino, Bang, Cryo, Asana, and Vora. And Vora is a really good IGO. I seen him in tier 2 Ascension. And Timotino is like, I was watching him in tier 2, and I was like, yeah, this guy definitely needs a spot. Um, I think since this is like an inexperienced team, 11 with the sub, I think 100 Thieves takes it. They also have Doombros as a coach now, and I really rate him highly. NRG, they brought in Kiko, world champs. Not gonna say too much. MIBR versus Envy. This is tough because Aspas had like a benign tumor or something, so he hasn't been able to play, and I don't think the team has been playing like together. So I think they're probably gonna start playing like with 20 days left. But Envy hasn't announced their roster with Rossi and Kesnet. That's just rumored. So I don't know. And okay, Aspas always beats Kesnet. So I'm just gonna go with Aspas beating Kesnet, even if he hasn't played in a while. He's always beat Kesnet. Sentinels versus Furia. Sentinels just outplays them. Even in the offseason, like the player quality for Sentinels is way too high compared to the Furia one. G2, they brought in Baby Bay, got rid of Jonah P. Valen just dominates North America, to be honest. So gonna bet money on Valen for that one. Come down here. Loud versus 100 Thieves. This one's tough. Loud. Who's Loud's coach? Let me check again. Mm-mm. It's tough. Uh, Romani. Oh, he was the Solos laser coach. 100 Thieves has Doombros as a coach. You know, their jobs are on the line this year. Like, 100 Thieves has been like going so hard on Valorant. Or not like hard, but just like they haven't won anything. I think this year in the offseason they're probably going hard in the practices. So I'm just gonna go with 100 Thieves. Um, EG versus Furia. Furia a dark horse, but EG, I think Okeanos and Bao are way too good to lose to Furia. Mm, let's see. Crew versus Envy. I'll go with Envy. Kesnet beating Crew for getting kicked. Easy. Lev versus Cloud9. I'll go with Lev. Or should I? Should I go with Cloud9? That one's tough. But I might leave that there, but I'm gonna go back and change it. Maybe. Loud versus Furia. Unfortunately, Loud beat Furia. Because Verdi's pretty good. Like, even when they're losing a whole bunch, they're just getting. Even when Loud were losing a whole bunch last year, they're like getting so many kills. So they can just out aim them and out firepower them. Crew versus Lev. Lev. So I got Crew bombing out. I know they got less in Sodok back bet. I didn't really like Sodok's IGLing last year and less. I don't know. He just hasn't been hitting the same for me. Um, who else did they have on Crew? I think they got rid of like the all Crew roster. Yeah, they got MW0. Oh my gosh, MW0. I do not like MW0 as a player. Like him on Initiator was no good. He didn't like. I think he was playing solo and he didn't use like a single dart. Silence. He was on 2G. Like, come on, bro. Honestly, I know he's like the better 2G players, but I don't know. And Dante Dales, he's just not hyped up to what he's supposed to be. They're bombing out. This is like my most confident one. Okay, I'm gonna go back up to the top. NRG versus MIBR. Okay, because Aspas has been out and the MIBR hasn't had time to practice, I'm gonna go with NRG. Sen versus G2. I just think G2. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. G2, they're gonna win it. Or they're gonna qualify to be the first team to qualify. I think Valorant has just like such a good read on North America Valorant, and he's played against all these players before that he just knows what they want to do, and especially in this NRG game, he knows how Ethan calls. Like I think if in champs G2 played against NRG, G2 definitely would have won because every time they face against NRG, he knows like the things. He knows Ethan can't really like IGL. It's a lot of like bomb card telling him like set plays and like stuff to look out for. So I'm gonna go with G2 being the first team to qualify. Okay, come down here. Who do we have? 100 Thieves versus EG. Man, this one's tough. Okay, I'm gonna skip down to this one. Envy versus Cloud9. Do I have Envy winning? Yeah, I think they win. They're gonna be on a hot streak. Wait, are they? No, they're not. um, I have faith in them. Everyone's calling like, oh, Exer, his one trick Euro isn't gonna work, but it is. I believe, I hope. And then when they go against Sentinels, they lose. Like Redux and Caillou are like some of the only players that like beat Envy when they're on their tear in tier two. Like they know how they want to play, and yeah, if Caillou is getting flustered in the IGLing, like John can take over because he's played against like teams like that before, like Paper X, Stylesque. So I think Sentinels win that. EG. Okay, then we have EG versus MIBR. EG don't stand a chance. Trust me. Don't even gotta talk about that. Um, Loud versus. Ooh. Does Cloud9 beat Lev? No, actually, I gotta change that. I think King is just way too good of an IGO to get beat by Cloud9. And then does Lev beat Envy? That's also a good question. This is gonna be a really close game. If Envy win, who plays? If Lev win. Okay. I'm gonna go with Envy. They're still gonna have a sub at this point, I believe. So and then Central is through, and then I think Central has just been practicing way too much in the off season. But NRG should win. They are world champions, and they only made one change for like the literal best player of like the last year. Loud versus Lev. I think Lev will win that actually. I think the player quality is like young, but they have the player quality to do it. Crew versus Cloud9. Cloud9 beat that. I think Crew are bombing out. Trust me on that. 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. 100 Thieves. I just gotta put it up to a cryo takeover game, and then Envy versus 100 Thieves. I think Timontino's probably gonna get nervous when they're running it down against him. I know he'd like that, like he likes to play against that, but there he's gonna be on stage, be nervous. There's elimination on the line. Okay, then AG versus Lev. I think AG, knowing that they're about to get eliminated, they're gonna cook something up like a weird comp or something, and they have the players to play this time. Like I think last year they didn't really have the players that could like play different characters, but I think this time they're gonna do it. But Envy will beat them, I believe. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a crazy game. But Aspas is just gonna carry, and then Sentinels versus MR. I think for the amount of time Sentinel's been putting in the off season, they know how Zekin plays. They would have played by now. And that's why I have Sentinels making it through. These pickums are kind of basic, but I think how we got here wasn't as basic as everyone else's.